Welcome into the video, welcome into the stream. I'm your host Zoo. Today we're gonna be prepping spawn, do some big builds. Joker, welcome in, how are you? I did not end up AFKing this last night, but I'll probably do that today. Okay. Have to make some new stairs. Come on, little buddies. You alright? Good. Come here. Okay. Just leave those there. Oh, for now. Yeah. Have to do some work on that. What the hell are you doing here? Oh, do I have to spawn proof this? That's lame. Do that another time. I'm so glad I finished this yesterday though. Done with the nether highways. Bruh. But yeah, I'm just gonna be at first mostly just clearing trees and stuff. Let me drop some of this off in here. Yeah, we'll see how long all this takes. Oh, I should probably do the librarians today too. I don't want to do that, but try and figure out which ones I'm missing. But yeah, should be fun. Probably when I get on tomorrow, we'll start just building stuff. And I already have like tons and tons of glass and concretes and stuff. Put some of these away. Can't remember where I left it, like 8 shulkers somewhere. Oh boy, let me focus on this area right now. Yeah, we'll just mostly be vibing. I'll probably play some music at some point. Might even like start bringing some of the materials over today. And the next time I do anything that I need a lot of wood, have it. I hate these things so much. Let me set up some bacons too. So we're gonna be over here building quite a bit. Oh, bro. Literally out of diamonds in my pocket because I've been spending them all on this. This is probably a little too far away though. I feel like I'm still missing quite a few beacons though. Oh, I did put some at the Blaze Farm. Might be time to get some bacons. Oh my god, I hate these so much. Oh, what? Two next to each other? Oh, no worries, Ava. Thanks for stopping by. Just in time for some exciting wood chopping action. Oh yeah, there's a bed way closer. I don't know why I flew up here. Joker says hi, Ava. Bye, Ava. Sadness. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I have even any moderation controls over there. It's weird. I hate these oak trees so much. Oh my god, that scared me. It's our Halloween mob. I gotta let him shoot so he breaks his bow. Oh, that's not too bad. 23%. Ooh. Mm. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, you can always message if I don't answer. It's just because I don't always check my phone other than text messages. Sheesh. it feels like I've made progress, but no. Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I would have or should have left a lot sooner than I did. I should have stayed away during college too, but I didn't. But if you have your health and you're young, you can always just like dip out. I'll send you this one YouTube chick I just found recently too. She's like a psychologist, and I don't even. It's not always like even related to me or my personal life, but I just listen to a lot of her episodes, and she's been like learning a lot about people, and it's helpful. And like anytime she covers something that I've been through, it really helps. Yeah, I mean, my family was like pretty fucked up, and I think if when I was younger I'd just like left and stayed away, I might not have ended up getting like injured the way I did and stuff like that, because I was just being super reckless at the time because I was like acting out. Just like find some friends and get a house together, be young people. I will send you this one YouTube channel though that I just found recently. I don't know, there's just something about listening to her that calms me down. Yeah, for sure. Have you guys ever heard of this lady on TikTok called Doormat Mom? So basically, she's like a total narcissist, and apparently she has like really bad relationships with her adult kids, but she wrote these books about like um estrangement from adult kids, and it's just basically like her blaming her kids her for not wanting to be around her or whatever. That was how I found this chick's channel, because I'd heard of her before, and she was like going in depth, like reviewing the book and just going like chapter by chapter and just being like, yeah, like unless I was able to actually like have a session with this woman, I can't, really say for sure, but this reminds me of this and that, and like whatever other kind of like behavioral issues or personality disorders. And this woman's just like fucking insane, but there's like a whole subgenre just dedicated to like dunking on her slash like just laughing at how insane she is. But just listening to like that woman's book get torn to pieces has been pretty entertaining and also somewhat comforting to me. Oh, I love August the Duck. Yeah, I'm sure he sure if it got on his radar, he would definitely do an episode about her. But yeah, she's like, and also I think just like a really good representation of like the worst of the boomer generation, where it's like she basically like tries to use like Bible verses to make her kids sound like pieces of shit. And like one of her kids like moved to Australia basically just to get away from her, and that like sent her over the edge. Like listening to her talk about that daughter in particular is just pretty ridiculous. Well, that's why I brought it up, is because I feel like everybody probably has somebody like this woman in their lives. Like, one example I can think of off the top of my head is like this daughter who moved away from her to Australia, was getting married, and apparently her boyfriend's like really nice, and like emailed the mom and talked with her a little bit, and she was like basically like, yeah, this guy's like way too nice and he speaks so highly of you, like what the fuck is wrong with him? As if it was like a bad thing. And then she like showed her mom her wedding dress, and she's like, yeah, that's like way too revealing for your like brother-in-laws and your brothers to be like seeing you in, with like a heavy implication that that is like on her to like worry about, I guess, arousing her male family members. Like just fucking bizarre lunatic shit. But also listening to stuff like that and hearing like a truly like psychotic parent, like Ruby Frankie. I'm sure you guys have heard of the 8 passengers thing, where that mom is like now in prison because she was such a psycho. I don't know, to an extent that always makes me feel a little bit better hearing about like even worse situations. Oh, Ruby Frankie was like a mom influencer, but just like insane. Like I think the most like commonly used example is she like sent her like 6 year old to kindergarten or first grade or some shit, um, without a lunch because she like didn't put her toys away or some shit like that. But just series of like that, and she would make all these like TikToks and like Instagram reels of like how she would punish her kids, and it was all like really creepy and like over the top, and for like pretty pretty innocent, or you know, like common things that kids would do. Wait, did one of them, I don't know if I heard the whole story, if one of them died. I'm pretty sure she just went to prison for child abuse and neglect. But yeah, August the Duck definitely did a an episode on that woman. I don't even have that many ad rolls. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember hearing that she killed one of them, but she's still horrible. That's funny though that you know August the Duck too, Ava. I always wonder like some of the bigger creators, like how many other people in my life also watch some of the people that I watch. Ah, think that's what they nowadays call the slop creators though. Yeah, yeah. So this woman I was talking about, the doormat mom, she's like the vegan teacher of um shitty boomer parents. Oh yeah, yeah. That lady. That story's all fucked up too. No, it's not the same woman. You watch too much true crime. Yeah, I try really hard not to watch or click on stuff like that just because then your algorithm will just like push a bunch of it to you. There's some really insane like channels that just go over like body cam footage from cops in like horrific cases. I watched like a couple of those and then for like 2 or 3 weeks that was like all it was recommending to me. It's like, bruh, I didn't mean to get sucked into that wormhole. Yeah, I think that's probably the one that I watched, Ava. It sounds familiar. Yeah, I really can't do them either after this one. It was like these cops showed up and this woman had like half buried her kid in the fucking woods and like just how normal she was acting when they like picked her up and like just talking to her is so unsettling. It's like, oh my god. Oh my god, that could have been sketchy. I noticed it was a cave. Yeah, I mean, on a more positive note, there's this guy, Scott Galloway, I like, and I think the ideas he has would, like, make society a lot better and give people a chance to not be put in positions where they do insane shit like that anymore. It would obviously take decades, but the world can only get so shitty before people do shitty things, you know? I mean, there'd still be shitty people doing shitty things, but from a lot of those like crime ones and body cam ones and interrogation room things I've watched, it's like I think a lot of times people just end up in a living situation that they never really wanted to be in, and then slowly day after day they get driven to do things they otherwise might not do. I'm more of a nurture kind of guy for psychology versus nature. I don't really believe that people are born with a predisposition to do certain things. I think it's more of their lived experiences that shape who they are and how they react to the world. Are you a nature or nurture person, Joker? I'm not saying it's only one or the other. I think, obviously, like, brain chemistry is like, an empirical thing, but yeah, I think though that like nurture is far more powerful personally. It is like the most kind-hearted, and then when I had to deal with trauma shit at the house, it like slowly turned me just more aggressive, I would say, and made me act out. And then when I would act out, I'd be like very out of the character that I started with. Kicked. Huh. It seems like streams are running alright on my Twitch tab that I have open. Oh, I did drop a few frames though. Let me know if it gets worse or if it freezes. It seems to be stabilizing, hopefully. Okay. Yeah, Joker, I'm pretty obsessed with the stuff that you studied. Yeah, no worries, Ava. Like, I took this sociology class in college that was super interesting called U.S. Environmental History. And we did a couple case studies that were really interesting, but the one that probably the most interesting is the Love Canal. I don't know if you ever studied that, Joker. Basically, I don't know if it was in the 60s or earlier, but they tried to dig a canal from like the Hudson River or some area in New York to, I think it was the Great Lakes, so that they could have like a waterway to get, across those states and then into those other waterways. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying like nature isn't irrelevant by any stretch. I just feel like if like a person doesn't already have like a brain chemistry for like a personality disorder, that they could get enough trauma that it could give them a lot of problems. And obviously, you'd need to see data, but I would imagine that majority of people who do really fucked up things probably had really fucked up things done to them compared to like people who had good upbringings and then did fucked up things. Um, but anyway, the love canal is like, it's not really psychology. It's just really fucked up. But they tried to build this canal to connect basically the ocean to the Great Lakes states. And about partway through, they were like, you know what, we're not going to finish this. It's too much money. And we're going to sell it to like a chemical plant or nuclear company or some shit. And I think it was a nuclear company. And that company filled the giant hole that they dug with just a bunch of like radioactive material. And this was before we really had like regulations for anything like that. Like Nixon created the EPA in the 70s, and it was probably because of shit like this. But then they're like, all right, well, we're going to sell the land. And they sold the land, and everybody was like, okay, well, let's build a town on it. And so they built a town on it, and then everybody who lived in that town was having like absolutely horrific radiation side effects, like babies being born with an extra arm, or you know whatever, like people getting cancer and dying in the span of like 5 years. And at the time, they like really still didn't understand that it was because of all this shit they built the town on top of. But case studies like that are extremely interesting to me. That didn't really have anything to do with what we were talking about. That was the majority of the sociology I studied, was like policy affecting um, communities. That was a really interesting class. We also learned about how, like, in the frontier days when the railroad was being built, or I guess after, like, well after the railroad was being built, it was like Teddy Roosevelt era, so like early 1900s. Everybody was like sick of wolves eating their farm animals. Like they were sick of them eating their chickens and their cows and stuff. So the government set a bounty on wolves, and like if you brought a pelt in, they would give you money. And just for sport, when people were riding like the uh, transcontinental railroad, they would just use like wolves as target practice and just shoot at them from the train while they were riding around. And they didn't know that it. So then all the deer didn't have an apex predator, and all the deer started getting like all scrawny and shit because they were eating all the food and like just having more baby deers, and there like wasn't enough food to support all the deer. And they're like, oh shit, maybe we should stop just eating wolves for fun. Yeah. Did happen to buffaloes too. Yeah, they'd literally just like shoot buffaloes off the train for fun and just leave the carcass there. It's so ridiculous. It's really interesting though, because arguably like one of the communities that was the best to the environment were Native Americans, but even they had some practices that weren't exactly good for the ecology. Like, I say that with a massive grain of salt, because this is like a problem that you could actually fix and wasn't like catastrophically detrimental. But it was just interesting to learn that they would do this like slashing and burn technique in the forest, where it's like easier to hunt deer and stuff in the woods if you don't have to try and find them around like bushes and shrubs and like undergrowth. So they would go in the forest and burn all the shrubs and bushes and stuff. So it was just tree trunks that they had to navigate, and made it like a lot easier to hunt. But then that like destroyed the quality of the soil, because the underbrush is like responsible for helping maintain like healthy soil for the trees, and then the trees started getting all shitty because they didn't have enough nutrients. Just really interesting though, because that class was like from the Industrial Revolution like to present day, and a big point of the class was just that like oftentimes before we even understand the impact we're having, we've already done like a lot of damage. And all that being said, where I went to school was like super crunchy, and like strangers would literally call you out if you like didn't bring a reusable bag to the grocery store. And I've never been like that much of an environmentalist. And I also worked at a golf course and was like, well, until we want to stop doing this shit, we're not really going to make that much of an impact. So I was definitely never like an activist about any of it. But I do think people should, not be shitheads about it and try to do what they can. Oh, absolutely. But I mean, seriously, it's like, until assholes want to stop taking their private jets to play golf courses where we dump like a million fucking gallons of water and fertilizer, a fleet of 150 golf carts all hours of the day, like, we're not really gonna ever make that big of an impact. But try selling
time for your excuses, garbage man. Now play again.
Try selling taking the golf courses away to the most powerful people in the world. It's like, that would never fucking happen. Hello, Lazy. Freezing a lot? Really? Let me see if I can do anything. I don't think I can do anything without stopping stream.
And it's gone. Gentlemen,
hopefully that helps.
We are dealing with someone here who has absolutely no life.
Did that help? I changed the frame rate refresh.
Embarrassing!
Well, dude, why does OBS never work? I'll do entire weeks of streams with no issues, and then the same settings will have issues. I blame Mr. Lazy. Whoa, that looks so crazy. Seems better. User error. I'll show you a user error. Whee! Look at all these trees I'm chopping down, Lazy. It's premium content. You should do a tree chopping stream. The colors of lights. Wow, that sounds cool. You like my 420 build, Lazy? I hate it. I really want to delete it. Do you like it? I don't even know who you are, bro. Get out of my bed. It's one click for you. Show you one click. You didn't even see it? Well, the VOD's up if you want to watch it at all. I was actually on the webcam the whole time, too. It's a skyscraper, dude. Nothing else. Nothing else nefarious. Oh, wait. While you're here, Lazy. Why does this shit happen? Why can't you see smoke through glass? Is there anything I can do to fix that? Because look at how great my plan was, dude. I was gonna put campfires every so often so that you actually had smoke going up the whole way. Yeah, it was on the 20th. I did put hay bales under it. But you can't see the smoke through the glass, so it ruined the whole build. It took me 4 hours and 20 minutes of grinding just to build everything, and then like right at the end of stream I hurriedly spammed a bunch of campfires down, and then you couldn't see it through the glass, so it was ruined. I blame Lazy for that as well. I have no idea. That's why I'm asking you. It doesn't make any sense to me. Think about it. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. It's a translucent block. Like, wouldn't you be able to see smoke through other translucent blocks, like leaves or something like that? No. We don't bully you, Lazy. I genuinely don't know, though. No, it's alright. He'll be back eventually to bully me. Oh, smoke can go through glass? You can't see smoke through glass. Is there a mod for seeing smoke through glass? It's like just this one particular instance where I would want it to happen. It's really bothering me that this is not going away. Where's the other thing? There it is. Maybe. Well, I was trying to think of other solutions. Could use like actual blocks, like wool and glass and stuff on the inside to probably make a smoke effect, but... Oh, you do? You pigs? Yeah, I do want the list if you don't mind. New pigs and cows? Don't do it. Why not? Oh yeah, what else did you say it's gonna break? It's gonna break the gold farm. What else is it gonna break? I barely use that thing anyway, to be honest. I mostly use the trade hall to get XP, or just I'm trading so often my stuff doesn't really need to be healed too often. I'll just invent a super epic gold farm again, like this Super Yeeter 5000. What other mobs are reinforced? So would that be like Blaze? That's a looting farm anyway. Oh, does that mean that, what's it called, farms would have to be looting the Guardian farms? Man, that's gonna go over well with the community. What does reinforced mean in relation to mobs? My first thought was that they get reinforcements. Where's this bacon that I'm getting powers from? It's definitely not. Is it that one? That doesn't look like 50 blocks. Really doesn't matter, but... Oh. Well, isn't that just... Oh, I guess so. Piglins, too. Regular piggies. It's my first day playing Minecraft, Lizzie. You're gonna have to work with me and explain everything. Never played this game before. I'm just over here punching trees still. Figure it out yourself. Do Endermans all attack you if you hit one of them? I don't think so. Can't even think of any other mobs that would do that. Oh, wolves? So your wolf farm is broken? Me to Ruby when we play? Yeah. Well, I've been Lazy's Minecraft coach for quite a while now. He was getting bullied in middle school because his gold farm didn't have a piston launcher in it, so his parents hired me to coach him up in Minecraft so he wouldn't get bullied anymore. See you later, Lazy. I mean, off the top of my head, the only ones I can think of are zombie pigs and regular piglins. And bees. Because everything else is either aggro already. Zombies, bees. Yeah, but like bees don't have drops anyway. Yeah, I thought they were already aggro. I think you mean zombie piglins. That's what I mean. It's like they're either already aggro or they behave differently anyway. Naturally spawning golems, so my naturally spawning golem farm won't work. That's interesting. There goes Mojang just making shit up again. Mojang's like, whose line is it anyway? It's like, welcome to the game where everything's made up and the points don't matter. Oh. See, that's what I was thinking. Or I was thinking like mobs that spawn in groups, like guardians. You remember that show, Joker? That's where that Dave Chappelle, Wayne Brady skit came from. Yeah, Lazy's peak sweat. His supreme sweater. They should do that show again with a new cast. You hated that show? Robin Williams isn't even in that show. You might be thinking of Drew Carey. I think you might be out on an island though, saying Robin Williams isn't funny though. I don't think a lot of people are gonna die on that hill with you. Yeah, you're thinking of Drew Carey, which, yeah, I don't think a lot of people would, Richard Simmons was on, really? Yeah, I got in like a full-on argument with my friend Dave, who was joining me on stream every once in a while. He's trying to tell me that guys like Carlin and some of the greats like weren't even that funny, like considering that, you know, like there's now like other comedians, but he was using like literally the worst examples ever, like Andrew Santino and like a bunch of fucking hacks. And it's like, bro, Carlin's material would still kill today if he was like a new comedian as of like just today. All of his material would still kill. I will look up that episode. That sounds hilarious. So I was trying to make this point that there are very few like greats in the current generation. Like, so, you know, solid comics like would watch their set and have a good time, but like with the staying power of some of the all-time greats like Pryor and Carlin, it's like, nah, fam. It's basically all we have at the current moment. Let me like really rack my brain so I don't sound like an asshole, but Abbott and Costello, I don't even remember their stuff. No, in the 70s and 80s, they had like just some absolute fucking heavy hitters that were just masters of comedy, and their material will always be relevant and great. See, I've watched like some of Eddie Murphy's sets, and he just seems like a shock jock, like a Andrew Dice Clay kind of comedian, where it's like topical, societal, taboo kind of comedy. Oh, who's on first routine? Yeah, I still don't get that routine. I hear it referenced all the time. Well, I'll wait till Joker's back to pontificate further on comedians. I also don't really like Robin Williams stand up as much as I think he's funny from movies. No, that's pretty heady. I'm sure you get bonus points with certain comedians for bringing them up. Golly, this is taking forever. Still gotta do this section. Yeah, you should look up George Carlin. Fucking legend. I'd have to like sit down and look at a list though of who I would deem as like a legend from more contemporary era. I've always kind of wanted to be a comedian as well. I've done a little bit of stand up at open mics when I was like a musician and stuff, but that's way scarier than doing music. Like for stage fright, I mean. And I've played in front of like 1,500 people before, but like I still get bad stage fright. And with comedy, it's like even worse because if you bomb, there's like probably nothing more humiliating than trying to be funny and not succeeding and having everybody staring at you. He better be a legend. So have you never heard Richard Pryor's sets either? Most people put him at like the very tippy top. He has this legendary set too where he was like a big cokehead, but and his sets were not like usually clean comedy. But he has this pretty legendary set where he like did more of a clean show than he usually does, but the legend has it that he was just ripped off his ass on coke during that entire set. He's like sweating straight through like a satin fucking dress shirt. It's so ridiculous. Oh, Richard Pryor is like way up there. He's got to be in everybody's top 3 if they're a serious individual. I don't think I've ever laughed harder at anybody's comedy than that one set I'm referencing. Yeah, I'll send you one of his sets. I'm trying to say that, like, while most art and comedy is subjective, there are people who are objectively to be held in higher regard if you're a serious individual. You know, like when people try and say shit like the Beatles weren't good, it's like, yeah, okay, they're only like the most ubiquitous and like widely celebrated band of all time, but like, yeah, you're a serious individual. Like, you can not like them, but like to say they're not good, that's just fucking stupid. Stuff like that, you know? Although I've heard more and more frequently that like your generation doesn't really fuck with the Beatles. Which is fine, but also like we would have had to wait longer for stuff like punk and metal and all of that shit if the Beatles didn't make the all the parents lose their shit about, you know, their music first. Yeah, I was talking to this one guy one time who we like went in on a really long debate about it, and I was like, bro, like people were straight up like not letting their daughters leave the house when they're in town and like trying to get like the police involved to prevent them from like being able to play in towns. And they're singing about like wanting to hold your hand. Like, you know how long and how much more pushback there would have been if they did that with like Ozzy Osbourne first, you know? And society were such losers back then that they probably would have been successful in like outlawing somebody like Ozzy if they didn't go through that with the Beatles before that, you know? That's just my opinion on that, but like, yeah, we would have gotten there eventually with music. Like, I think those, you know, themes and kind of heavier style would have always come about. But I do think that the Beatles were able to get society to react to pretty innocent stuff in an absurd way that also helped those other kind of bands not have to deal with that kind of shit as they were coming up. And then when John Lennon said that they were as popular as Jesus, that made everybody lose their goddamn minds. So after that, it was like, you know, society wasn't going to freak out as much about Ozzy Osbourne biting a bat's head off live on stage. And also the Beatles were like potheads and doing acid and shit, and that was like the first time the bulk of society was having that normalized, you know? Oh, wait, hold on. I also haven't had YouTube chat pulled up at all. Okay, I didn't miss anything. Alright, yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, I did see that. And would definitely have to agree. Yeah, sometime if you're bored, though, you should go back and look up when John Lennon said that. People lost their goddamn minds. Yeah, my day was alright. Work was pretty chill. Although work is pretty chill most days for me. Then I rode my bike, the stationary bike at my house. I have my Nintendo Switch when I ride the stationary bike, and I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart when I've been doing that. I really want to get one of the Switch 2s, but they're way too fucking expensive. I mean, obviously, it's like, saw people complaining about that, and it's like, yeah, obviously they're gonna be like $500. Like, Xbox was like $500 when it first came out. It's like all consoles are always like $500 when they first come out. Probably gonna wait a while, but I really, really, really want to get Mario World. It looks so much fun. Or Mario Kart World. It's like open world Mario Kart. It's fucking awesome. Well, it's changed a lot since like the N64. The N64 is the GOAT. There's I don't really drink anymore, but when I was in college, we'd play this drinking game called Beerio Kart or drunk driving. People call it all sorts of stuff, but the rules are you can either touch the controller or the beer, and if you win the race but your beer is not empty, then it doesn't count. So you have to either drive or drink the beer. And a couple of my roommates in college, we would play that like whenever we didn't have anything else to do, but we would do that shit for like hours. You just get so hammered. So much fun now. Because like you'll be racing around and like obviously you get worse at the game as the night goes on, but a lot of people try to like chug their beer at the very beginning so then they can just focus on the race the rest of the time. Or like, you know, you'll be like on the last lap and forget that you haven't finished your beer, and then somebody will like pass you to win who has. It's a really good time. Oh, it's so much fucking fun. It's so fun that like you're probably better off not ever doing it because it's extremely addicting too. It's really, really dumb, but one of my two roommates, we used to get like a gram of Coke and a 30 rack and just play till like 6 o'clock in the morning. So stupid. And since there'd only be 3 of us, that'd be us putting back like 10 beers each just to play Mario Kart all night. Yeah, I'm glad I don't party like that anymore. If I'd ever been a streamer when I was living that lifestyle, I probably would be pretty unwatchable on a regular basis. Like, we would get turned the fuck up. Well, that's good. Your generation's all gonna have, like, popcorn lung. You're all gonna be on oxygen when you're in your, like, early 50s. From all the vapes. So every day you're not inhaling something is a W for you. Like, I like the pens, and I just saw my doctor, and she's just asking me about, like, the stuff I do in my life. Being able to give me good medical Yeah, you should honestly, like, if you're gonna do it and you're gonna smoke it, it should not be a vape. Yeah, stop vaping. Yeesh. There's still a lot of trees to get out of here. Eh. And there's mobs now. Ooh, what are you trading? I was just saying not to vape. That's all I said. I don't know where this guy keeps assigning the jobs, but get out of here. Alright, I should probably do these stupid librarians. It's gonna take a minute. Apparently I also gotta secure this thing a little bit better. I hate the 420 build. I wish I didn't do it. Also, if this thing is gonna stay here, I'm gonna take some of this concrete out. Yeah, I can make the bottom, this part right here. I am ashamed. I literally said it, like, as I was finishing it, I was just like, I'm so ashamed of myself for building this. It looks cute. Well, the bowl and the slide are just so well done. I did such a good job on that part. Ray! Wow. Look who it is. How are you, bro? How are the girls? Well, it just made my day. Oh, we love Ray and Miss Ray. How are you, buddy? What you been playing, bud? Fall Guys still? Oh, Ray's from like the original set of regulars. Oh, good. Glad. I know Becca's been watching the TikToks, and glad to know that she still gets to see the content every once in a while. And Becca was like the original mod. Yeah, actually, if you go to my TikTok, the very first clip I ever uploaded is me playing with Ray. Fortnite. It's funny. Been doing alright. Yeah, I'm glad to hear the girls are doing well. That's really awesome that Becca's doing so well. Becca inspired this build, actually. Good old Raymond Wise. Ray Wise Gamgee. But yeah, I've just been chilling, been grinding this out. YouTube has been growing a little bit. I did make a really funny video about doing a giant watermelon build where I actually got on green screen and did some acting. But yeah, mostly just working, doing stream, having fun with the ladies, etc. Does he? Yeah, that's just a good joke. I mean, since that I've heard other people from the South call ramen Raymond as well. But it's just so classic. Ladies, plural. Yeah, I had quite the week a couple months ago, I'm not gonna lie. I was being a slutty little zoo. Sometimes it just works out like that. Show him your Ender Dragon, eh? Oh yeah. I showed him my hardcore world. That's what you gotta do on your Tinder profile. Just put your day count from your hardcore world in there. Be like, your bio is just, if you're lucky, I'll send you the world download. No, I actually, yeah, Joker's a dog just like me. No, I actually messed up like an ideal situation last year. There was this just absolutely super hot bartender lady that I met on Bumble, and she was just basically like, yeah, I'm totally down for like just a hookup, like don't even really have to talk or anything in between. But usually like gals aren't into that. They'll be like, yeah, I'm down for something casual, but then, you know, you gotta still text them all day every day like you're their boyfriend or whatever. So I kind of did that, and I also like don't really mind, like I enjoy having someone to talk to day to day, but I just talked a little too much and then she lost interest. But that would have been like an ideal scenario if I didn't mess it up. Yeah, I won't make that mistake again, but also she had a uniquely insane body that haunts me to this day. No, it's fine. I mean, I wasn't like in love with her, and even after like hanging out for a little while, I kind of knew that, you know, as far as like a long-term thing, I don't think we would connect to the point where I would have fallen in love, but body-wise, it's just like there's some cake that is just better than all the other cake, and once you've had that cake, all the other cake isn't that good anymore, you know? No, and that's what's crazy because I thought that that was the cake that I'd never be able to get over, but this cake was even better than that. And what's funny too is like objectively, overall looks wise, that one girl I showed you is definitely still probably hotter, but this other woman didn't have as hot as a face or as nice of a body, but the cake was just too good. It was first ballot Hall of Fame cake. It was cake that made me reevaluate all the other cake I'd ever had and conclude that it was far and away the best. But that being said, since the last time you and Becca were like watching regularly, there was a person that I met that it wasn't just about the cake, but she was also pretty awesome and pretty hot. But personality wise, we really connected, and it was the first time in my life that I was like, I would actually like to be with this person for the rest of my life. But she lived in a different city, and we only got to see each other every few months, and she was just like, I'm not really looking for that at the moment. I mean, honestly, if my back wasn't fucked up, I would be pulling dimes like all the time. But even with my back being messed up, I think I still pull more dimes than a lot of dudes. And when you just treat women with respect and like real people, that goes a really long way. And I have like game that's way better suited to the current like apps kind of society that we live in. It's because I got these nice blue eyes, dude. The ladies love that shit. Straight pennies is what he gets at most. Well, the reason I say that is because, like, especially before I got my teeth fixed, like, I did not have a great smile, and then I always kind of am, like, a little chubby, at least. I've only been, like, fit for, like, genuinely fit in, like, my late teens, early 20s, and then briefly in my mid 20s for, like, a couple years. I was in really good shape, but usually I'm like dad bod. Oh, thank you, Ruby. Yeah, the eyes help a lot. I was born with elite eyes for sure. But yeah, bad teeth, dad bod, and an Eastern European bulbous nose have not made things super easy. But you can overcome a lot of that with personality. How's it going, Ruby? I would say I'm like a strong 7.
True love, true love, true love, true love.
I would say I'm like a strong 7 from the neck up. No, don't go to the vape shop. Boo. Go to the grocery store and get a nicotine patch and stop vaping. Do that instead. Could someone tell Happy hello for me? Yeah, I'm way too big right now, though. I somehow, even though I've been working out more the last, like, 3 months than the previous 3 months, have, like, put on 20 pounds. It's not muscle. Like, my belly got really big again. It sucks. It's because in your 30s, you can't just exercise anymore. You also have to diet to lose weight. And I've been like just destroying ice cream lately. It's fucked up, but I have the worst sweet tooth ever. Well, I mean, if it's either smoking or vaping, I don't even think doctors think smoking is healthier than vaping anymore. I think vaping with how it works is like uniquely bad for your lungs. It's basically like there's like moisture involved in it, so you're giving yourself like mini cases of pneumonia repeatedly, like microscopic pneumonia. It's like really not good for you. And stop smoking kratom. That shit is weird and gross. And I smoked it for a little while, and it's to try to use it for pain management, and it's just not good. It's bad news. It's bad news bears. Oh, really? Oh, I stand corrected. Yeah, like half my office vapes. And one of the gals is in her like mid 40s. Oh yeah, kratom pills. Sorry, I forgot that it is pills. Well, stop taking kratom. Well, when they do my bottom teeth, also I'm quite a hypocrite because I I got addicted to chew when I was in high school because I was a hockey player and like it's a huge part of hockey culture. And one of my friends just kept bullying me to try it while we'd be partying. And one night I finally did try it while partying and I just absolutely fucking loved it. And in college I actually was like very nearly off of it. And when you're like quitting nicotine, you get extremely fucking irritable, or at least I do. Like irrationally irritable. And I got in an argument with my roommates over watching the Oklahoma City Thunder over an Avs playoff game one night, and I got so angry that I stormed out of the house and drove straight to the gas station and got tobacco. But when they take my bottom tooth out here this summer, I'm gonna quit. Because I literally physically will be unable to. It's like the only way I'm gonna be able to quit. I know it. Yeah, and after like starting to get off of it and seeing how irritable I was, I just like have not wanted to. I haven't had the will to do that again. And then once I knew I'd fucked my teeth up so bad they were gonna, you know, put veneers in, I was like, yeah, I'll just wait until that happens. But I got the patches ready. I'm like pretty ready for that too. Just gonna miss it. What I need to find is like gum that like tastes like tobacco that doesn't have nicotine in it, because I just really like the taste. And apparently nicotine's like really bad for your spine in general. Like accelerates disc degeneration. Yeah, just none of it's good. No, don't say that. I'm strong. I have had the doctor and the dentist check my mouth, though, to make sure I don't have any signs of that. If that ever happens, if they're ever like, bro, we gotta like take your jaw out, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna get some heroin and hop in a car and drive off the Grand Canyon or something. That would be my time. Yeah, it sucks that you guys don't get to grow up in a world where cocaine is not got fentanyl in it.
I love you.
Becca! Hello, how are you? Good to see you. How's the baby? Yeah, Becca is royalty status in chat. The OG regular. Yeah, I mean, I never liked it as much as, like, I had a couple friends who ended up having issues with it, like, pretty much immediately, but the way I did it is that as a musician, people would just give it to you for free, and I just made a rule with myself that I would never buy it. I would just only do it if offered to me. But, like, when you're having a fun night out and, like, drinking hard, it's really fun. Aw. Yeah, we're proud of you too, Becca. Ray said you're doing really well. I think you and Ray would really like that. The latest video I made on YouTube, though, that was that TikTok that you liked, where I have the watermelon and I'm in front of the green screen. It's real silly. I think the main reason people like Coke, though, is that you can do it and then just drink like a fish and you don't get sloppy as long as you keep doing it. Oh, I never really got with that. Back when I was doing it, like, fentanyl wasn't really a thing, so, like, people weren't overdosing on it all the time, and, like I said, since I never bought it, I never, like, had a large amount to just go overboard with. It'd usually be, like, people would share a little bit with you throughout the course of the night, so maybe, like, 2 or 3 times. And I don't know, I just grew up with friends where, like, we were all had each other's back, so, like, we wouldn't let each other, like, do dumb shit or dangerous shit, really. Oh, that's good, Becca. That's exciting. Yeah, we're definitely proud of you. That must be so exciting. That'll also that'll also open a lot of doors for you. I don't know if you have plans to, like, continue on with it, but travel nurses make a shitload of money. They make like 6 figures a year. It's insane. Or at least here in Colorado, where, like, everything's way more expensive to make. No worries, Ruby. Yeah, it's like the most poppin' stream in a while, and all I'm doing is chopping down trees. I am trying to do shorts, and also, you know, then I post those on TikTok as well every day, but the last few streams we've just been doing dumb shit, so I haven't really had anything to edit. And the melon video was like the worst edit I've ever done. That was like 300 hours of footage. Okay, well, at this point, I feel pretty comfortable to actually start doing the builds now, but I still need to remove quite a bit of these spruce trees. Basically from, like, right here and up and over the mountain and around the mountain. I don't know what I'm going to do with this area, though. I'd like to make this river connect over here, and I think if I do that, I'm going to try and run it pretty close to this mountain, so we have, like, a nice clean edge where the zoo builds and the nature start, but whenever the kiddo gets out of school in like 12 years. You missed me chopping down trees for 2 straight hours, Happy. Oh yeah, and you missed Becca and Ray. Yeah, the OG regular crew is like Happy, Mission, Abby, Becca, and Ray, and Shay. Oh, and Ray's still here. Hell yeah. I'm sure you haven't had much time, Ray, but what games have you been playing? You still a Fall Guys sweat? So, like, the stream's different? That's funny. Yeah, it's good to see y'all. I've just been hanging out, chilling today, chopping trees. We'll be doing more builds tomorrow, though. Now that Happy's here, I can switch over to Elden Ring. Oh yeah, Ray, if you haven't heard about Helldivers, it's a great time. You only play it like twice. Yeah, I was about to say that. I don't know if Ray would like that, actually. It's gotten a lot better, though. It's way better for people to get into nowadays than when it first started. When it first started, it was difficult, it was laggy, and it was not very... There was a steep learning curve, but they've made the game a lot easier and smoother and added a lot of stuff that makes it not as difficult. I kind of don't like it. I wish it would have stayed how it was, though, if I'm being honest, because it used to be like, if you won a game, it was like an actual accomplishment. Now it's like, I can sleepwalk through it. I don't even have to try anymore on the hardest difficulty, and we still win every time. All my carries. Yeah, and I'm an OG Mega Sweat. Back in my day, Helldivers was like nom, dude. You didn't win games, you just lost games. Alright, now I'm gonna focus on this stuff that's right next to this bridge, because that's like the last stuff we really need out of the way immediately. We can do another tree stream at some other point. Oh god, there's so many trees still. I'd like to get all of these out of here too. Oh my god, there's so many, but I did do from like right here all the way up through there today. Oh no, it was actually like over here. Alright, let me do these villagers though. So now we need new villagers. That's totally what happened though, is mobs spawned on the bong build and walked in here and yeeted them. Where are you trading now? Have a good one, Becca. It's really good to see you guys. Loves ya. What a treat. Yeah, Becca and Ray and their daughter are like the nicest little family you ever seen. Oh, let me go heal up the axe before I forget to do that. They're gonna break gold farms though. It's so ridiculous. This will probably be one of the last times we use it. I'm gonna have to build a stupid Enderman farm. Oh my god, my wings are hurt too. What? This farm always scares me though. Come on, little buddies. Not gonna lie though, I don't want to make these librarians. I just feel like something's gonna go wrong whenever I'm using this farm. Like one of them's gonna get out, or I'm gonna get in the minecart on accident. I'm so startled. Smile for the camera, Chevy. Don't use it. Oh, could you imagine? Jeez. No, I just like to keep hitting them because I didn't put the satellite pig in. So just like to keep them aggroing. And they get stuck right there. It's not an optimized farm. It's a that'll do farm. Okay. Okay, let's go suffer through some villager bullshit for a little bit. That's a good movie. I used to have a poster for that movie on my wall when I was a kid. What's that shit called? Let me grab some of the job blocks. I hate doing this so much, though. Specifically, the librarians. They're the absolute worst. I'm just gonna nudge this guy into place. Oh, I can't because of this. Ugh. Come here, buddy. No, no, no. Yeah, walk over there. No, no, just stop walking. Yeah, yeah. Oh my god, Legend. Just stay there. Oh, but he's being a dick. Where did he assign to? I pulled all the job blocks up. What, am I have to pick all of them up? These sense that he would assign to a block that's already assigned to another villager. Bro, I'm already crashing out about this. I fucking hate villagers. Alright, god damn it. This is gonna turn this all into a fucking nightmare. You're a real piece of shit, you know that? Bro, god damn it. Okay, who assigned to this? This guy? I probably just broke all of them, didn't I? Bro, now I'm not gonna know until I trade with them and they run out of something I want them to refill. Probably just broke all this, didn't I? Dude, don't be like that. Assign to the fucking job block, please. Ding dong ditch. Okay, finally. I don't even know what I want this guy to be. What do these guys have? Silk touch guy. Got a flame guy. A density and channeling guy. That's our infinity guy. He does have mending, but it's not very cheap. Breach guy, also silk touch. Feather falling guy. I think all the really important ones were on this other side of the hall. I pretty much had all the books. Power 5 guy. Ooh, another infinity guy. Efficiency 4 guy and the unbreaking guy, okay. Sweeping edge guy. Respiration guy. Another unbreaking guy. Aqua affinity guy. Thorns guy. Is that really why I got that guy? Eluding 3 guy. Mending guy. Prop 4 Aqua affinity guy. Riptide guy, hell yeah. Sharpness 5 guy. Oh, another prop 4 guy. Why did I lock this guy in? Quick charge. Sweeping edge too. It's so weird. Alright, it could pretty much be whatever I want. There's nothing crucial that I'm missing. To an FBI agent's house? Nice. That's fun. What the hell, dude? Why did I have to click on that 3 times? I don't really know what to make this dude. I guess impaling 5 would be fine. I didn't see another impaling guy. Yeah, whatever. I don't even really care. Let me grab some stuff to lock him in. Oh, I don't have any sugarcane over here. He's probably gonna change by the time I get back. I never really pranked anybody when I was a kid like that. My senior year of high school, though, my friends and I straight up committed a fucking robbery, though, on this golf course by my house. We, like, didn't... And this golf course had this little, like, shack that was, like, halfway through the course where, you know, you could, like, buy hot dogs and a beer or whatever. And one New Year's, we went over there, so we were like, didn't have any liquor or any beer, and we were like, oh, I wonder if, I wonder if there's any beer in here. And, there's, like, one of those sliding, like, half windows, so people could, like, pull up on their golf cart. We just pried it open and got in, and there was, like, nothing in there on the New Year's Eve because it was the middle of winter and nobody was playing golf. But we came back, like, that spring, and one day we saw, like, the truck unloading, like, their first delivery for the year. And we came back later that night with literally, like, masks and gloves and shit on, and we just robbed the absolute fuck out of it. It was like a fucking pallet of beer, and, like, it was something absurd. We got like 800 beers and like 200 pocket shooters, and then I wasn't a part of this, but my friends went back later and found they had like one of those bank bags with like $400 in it, but and we, like, totally got away with it. We saw the cops there the next day, and they never questioned a single one of us. They had no fucking idea who did it. It's pretty awesome, actually. This is like a really wealthy area and like a nice golf course, so we didn't really feel bad about them losing money or anything. It's like a golf course, so who gives a shit, you know? No, we were wearing like ski gloves and shit. Oh, that's a really sketchy spot for you to be. Why are you there, dude? Alright, let's throw hands then. No, it was so legit though. There was like 8 of us and we had hockey bags and we were like filling 2 hockey bags with beer and there was like a lookout on the street and it was just set up so perfectly for this. It was like there's a golf cart path leading to a residential road leading to another golf cart path that led to a hole that was literally in the woods. And then that hole, there was like a little trail you could walk to a completely different street. So we pulled up a friend's truck on like the other street and there was like 2 of us inside filling shit up and handing it to like 2 kids outside who were running across the street and then 2 kids were loading up the truck on the other street. It was like full on Ocean's 11 shit. It was so ridiculous. Yeah. We didn't give a fuck about that at all. I'm sure it was like probably a solid like $5,000 for them, but at the end of the day, it was like whatever. We were all like 17 and 18, and then the rest of our senior year was like the last couple weeks of school. We just had a bunch of beer for like graduation and stuff. It was awesome. And it's just hilarious that like they definitely had a security camera, but it's just wild that like none of us even got talked to by the cops, you know? Like you'd think they'd be able to like figure out at least who like one of us were, or I don't think they put it in the paper either because I think they were just genuinely fucking embarrassed. And they're also just like, who the fuck are these people? Like, why are they doing this? No, I got one of them expunged records, buddy. All the crimes I ever committed, I did before I was 18. Oh, there was a really ridiculous incident. I'll tell you another story. So where we lived, sometimes people would like try to be nice and, you know, pay one of their friends' kids to like house sit while they're out of town. 'Cause it's like a really wealthy area, a lot of like second homeowners, you know. And one of my friends, this girl who would always hang out with us, she would house sit for these 2 like multi-million-dollar mansions. One of them is like got to be one of the most wealthy areas in the entire this ski resort. This one mansion she used to house sit for was like on the actual mountain. So that one in particular was like extremely nice, but these people were so rich, they had one mansion she would house sit for and then had another mansion in like a different part of town she would house sit for. But whenever that would happen, we would go party there. And one of the parties got out of hand, like Project X shit, except we didn't burn the place down, but like some kids joyrid the car and busted it up a little bit, and like people stole skis, and we spilled like wine all over fucking everything. There was like 100 kids there. It's like everybody in town heard of this party and went there. And the cops actually came to the school the following week, and they had like a beer pong list, and they were just pulling kids out of class. And what they ended up doing, because there were so many of us, is they gave summons to like 40 fucking kids, and then they just ended up giving us all a week of community service. But except for the kids that fucked around with the car and stole shit, they actually got in quite a lot of trouble. But what was funny is like I was literally there for like all of a half an hour that night, and my name was just on the beer pong list, and people called me by my last name in high school. That was like always my nickname, was just my last name. So I got in trouble. But what was funny about it was I was like literally there for like 30 minutes, had a beer, and then went to a pizza shop and just hung out with my friends there for the rest of the night. But along with that, no, actually this is a different friend's house, but like 40 kids scattered out in the woods, and the cops spent like a couple hours trying to get us all to come down. It was funny because they could see like all our cell phones like lit up on this hillside, but they weren't like gonna walk up there to try and get us. We just like spent the night running through the woods. Yeah, I mean, dude, we didn't think like shit was gonna get out of hand. And also, none of the parents really wanted to fight it or like hire a lawyer. So, like, most of us, since all they were doing was like for me, it wasn't a felony or anything. It was just like a misdemeanor, um, and community service. So it was like, yeah, I'll take that. Like, my friends who joyrid the car, though, they got in a fuck ton of trouble, and one of them was 18, so they had a felony on their record because of that. Well, I mean, I want to say that it was a misdemeanor. It must have been. I actually got a felony charge when I was, before I turned 18 in California. One time I got caught with mushrooms, and literally any amount of mushrooms in California is a felony, which was unfortunate for me. Oh, fuck, that guy's gonna hate me. I was like, I went to school briefly in California because I got in trouble in Colorado and got expelled from my first high school. And I was like a total bad kid. And in California, I was like a total outcast, though. And these two like yuppie fucking trustafarian kids, trust fund kids, came up to me one day after school and were like, "Do you know where to like get mushrooms?" And I was like, "I mean, I can ask the dude I buy weed from." And so they gave me some money, and I was like, "Okay, well, these kids don't know shit about drugs, so I'm just gonna take their money, and I'm just gonna give them like a little bit of whatever the guy gives me." And I took some of it out and put it in like my bag of weed, and I smoked weed in this alleyway like every day I lived there. And the one day that I had mushrooms with me, a cop rolled up, and like when he found it, he literally apologized to me. He's like, "Oh man, I was like just gonna give you a warning, but since this is in here, like I actually have to take you in." And I was on probation for a year, and it got wiped off my record because I was only 17. But yeah. Dummy. I really want him to get the other guy so I can heal him up. Good. You should have a clean record. Don't have a not clean record. Don't put yourself in position to get charges. That's how you have a clean record. Get this guy, please. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like when you're a kid, you do really dumb shit, but like once you become an adult, you should never put yourself in that position. Like if you're gonna do drugs, do them at home or in a private residence. If you are gonna do dumb shit in public, keep your head on a swivel. Yeah, I had another friend who almost like ruined his whole trajectory. I don't even know what ended up happening with this, but I'm pretty sure in Colorado, any amount of cocaine is also a felony, or it might be like less than a gram isn't a felony. But I had a friend who was like 18 and got caught at a show with coke, and he was like about to go to like an Ivy League school, and he ended up going to an Ivy League school, and he like works for like fucking Goldman Sachs nowadays. And what's kind of funny is that I don't even think a cocaine possession would be a deal breaker for Goldman Sachs because all those motherfuckers do coke all day, every single day. But yeah, he like got in trouble like right after graduating. It was like a month after we graduated, he got caught with coke, and it's like, bro, it's so fucking stupid. Yeah, that's not really that bad. Happy. I got like 8 MIPs when I was in high school, and I've been tackled by police and put in handcuffs like 4 times. I also got pulled over in college one time. Couldn't smoke on campus, so we would just drive around this neighborhood like right across the way and would like hotbox my station wagon, which was really dumb. We shouldn't have been doing that, but like probably did it like 50 times. And one time coming back into campus, the campus cop pulled us over, and it was so funny because it was like straight out of the fucking Dave Chappelle episode. Like we roll down the window and smoke just like billows out. It's so dumb. And it was really funny though because one of the kids in the car gave a fake name, and he actually got arrested, and the other 3 of us, we were just like honest with the cop, and he didn't actually charge any of us with anything. He's just like, well, you guys get 1 freebie, like don't let me catch you doing any dumb shit again. But the kid who gave a fake name, he actually got arrested. What was really funny about that though is I used to wrap up sandwiches in like tinfoil, and would usually make some pretty hefty sandwiches. And in college, like, you know, you're a shit pig, and I threw one in like the way back of my car and forgot about it. And while the guy was searching the car, he finds it, and it literally looks like a block of cocaine. It's like the most suspiciously wrapped like tinfoil thing ever, and it was so fucking funny because he's like, "Oh, what is this?" And I had no idea what it was, so I was like, "Fuck, I don't know. Is that like cocaine?" And I would have never had that amount of coke or anything, but in the moment got like really scared. And then he like opens it up and sees it's like an old moldy sandwich and just starts laughing. And then all of us were laughing. It was pretty fucking funny. It was really cold that night too, and we were all in like shorts and t-shirt, and he made us stand out there for like a half an hour, and I think that was like his punishment for us. Pretty fucking funny though. All right, I want to finish this next time though. I'm not really in the mood to deal with librarians. And it was fun to tell some stories, but yeah, don't be like Young Zoo. Young Zoo was a fucking menace to society. And I also did like way more risky and sketchy shit from when I was like 19 to like 21 than I did even after I was actually 21. Love oversharing. All these stories are fun now. Nobody ever died. I've only had like a couple bar fights that I'm like pretty ashamed of, but even like when I was getting fucked up, the worst thing I ever did was like drive a vehicle, which I think is really fucked up and you absolutely shouldn't do. And when I did it, it definitely wasn't right. I just got lucky that nobody ever got hurt, but outside of that, I never really did anything like genuinely morally bad. I just did drugs and got fucked up, which, you know, nowadays I can't even imagine that you really ever get in that much trouble for weed anyway. Whereas a kid that I went to school with in high school, his little brother was doing some weird shit. I can't remember what the drug was, but he was doing some weird shit and was like out of his mind. And somebody pulled up to his college campus to help somebody having like a seizure with an ambulance, and this kid fucking stole the ambulance while it was running. Like, you know how EMTs like hop out and leave it running and leave the doors open when it's like an actual emergency? And this kid was just like walking around the quad. I didn't even actually know this kid and barely knew his brother, but it was like a national story. And he like stole the fucking ambulance and crashed into a light pole or some shit. And he got in so much fucking trouble. It was like 4 or 5 felonies. It was crazy. It's the last story I'll tell you, but I never did anything like that. Anyway, loves you guys. Let me read out on Twitch. I'll be back tomorrow to tell more stories and finish the villagers. But I hope you all have a good night. I'm also going to let y'all know I am going to do at least one Elden Ring stream this week because I don't often have time to play video games after stream, and I'm really addicted to it right now. Let's go say hi to Frank. Bully him a little bit. Yeah, loves you. See you soon.